Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Former WWE head writer Vince Russo did not enjoy CM Punk's segment with Gunther. The two stars were face-to-face on Raw this week. Punk was charged up for his SummerSlam match against Gunther. The star cut a promo discussing how he has been preparing for a matchup like this all his life. However, he was interrupted by the champ, who called the best in the world out for his ego. Gunther claimed he would punish CM Punk, choke him out, and make him regret ever stepping into the ring. During this week's episode of Wrestling's Legion of Raw, Russo noted that the promo completely annihilated CM Punk. The veteran writer felt Gunther, being the heel, should have gotten heat by beating down on the babyface before the match. Vince also added that WWE had probably already decided that the ring general was going over in the match and didn't want him to get too much heat on Punk. The two stars are set for a momentous clash at SummerSlam in a few days. It will be the first time these two megastars face each other in singles competition. CM Punk and Gunther standing across from each other on WWE Raw was a moment fans thought they'd never see. A dream scenario for purists and longtime viewers. But while the visual of these two titans sharing the ring set social media ablaze with excitement, it also sparked a firestorm of criticism. And now, a WWE veteran has weighed in exclusively with strong words on what he calls a disastrous presentation. The segment in question took place during the July 15 episode of Raw, where CM Punk made his surprise return to confront the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of the modern era, Gunther. What started as a cold stare-down soon escalated into a verbal exchange that ended with Punk vowing to finish what Cody started, and Gunther replying with an ominous, "I am not like Roman." Fans in the arena roared, but backstage and online the segment was far from universally praised. Sources within WWE noted that the face-off was intended as a soft teaser for a potential future match, possibly even a main event showdown at Survivor Series or Royal Rumble. The idea, reportedly pitched by Punk himself, was approved by Triple H just hours before Raw went live. Gunther, who has been quietly rebuilding his mystique following his WrestleMania loss, was said to be initially hesitant about the interaction. According to insiders, his concern wasn't about Punk personally, but rather about how quickly the moment might shift focus away from his current arc as he gears up for a title rematch against Braun Breaker. Now, former WWE superstar and producer Shane the Hurricane Helms has spoken out exclusively, offering an unfiltered critique of the segment that's now circulating widely among wrestling circles. "I love Punk, and I respect what Gunther brings to the table," Helms said. "But what we saw on Raw was poorly timed and poorly structured. It threw both men into an awkward dynamic. Gunther is not the guy you use to test a crowd's patience with long-winded promos. And Punk isn't someone you throw into a half-baked confrontation when he's still selling the effects of his last feud." Helms continued by highlighting what he saw as WWE's inconsistent creative direction for Punk. "The issue is Punk is coming off this emotional feud with Drew McIntyre, and we don't even know if that story's finished. Now suddenly he's eyeing Gunther. It makes him look like he's collecting side quests instead of following a defined path. And Gunther just stood there, no real fire, no retaliation. He looked like a statue in a museum while Punk was performing Shakespeare." Social media was equally divided, with some praising the segment for teasing a fresh feud, while others agreed with Helms' assessment. A tweet from one fan read, "You can't just throw CM Punk in front of Gunther like that with no build-up. There's no story, no heat, just awkward tension." Another added, "This could have been huge if they waited till after SummerSlam and gave it the proper stage. Now it's just noise." WWE Creative is reportedly aware of the backlash and is said to be re-evaluating the pacing of how they book Punk moving forward. According to a backstage producer who spoke on condition of anonymity, this segment was meant to be a seed planted. It wasn't supposed to lead to a match right away. But the reaction internally has been so mixed that we might need to either accelerate things or pull back entirely. Interestingly, one major voice who approved the segment from the start was Paul Heyman, who has long advocated for Punk-Gunther as a clash of ideologies as much as a clash of styles. Heyman allegedly told writers that Gunther represents structure, discipline, and fear, while Punk represents rebellion, chaos, and truth. The idea was to have them build to a moment where both worldviews collided violently, but instead, the confrontation has left fans more confused than excited. Another WWE legend who requested anonymity said the execution failed because it lacked authenticity. Gunther didn't look like Gunther. He looked like someone waiting to say his line. And Punk looked like he was trying too hard to sell the moment because he knew the crowd wasn't fully buying it. You can't fake that kind of chemistry. It either hits or it doesn't. Despite the criticism, there is still belief internally that a CM Punk vs. Gunther match has massive box office potential if handled correctly. Early discussions point toward a possible Intercontinental Championship match being booked for the Royal Rumble, which would mark Punk's first real shot at that historic title. Others are pushing for a slower burn, with the hope of saving the Collision for WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas. As for Gunther, sources say he's been advised to reclaim his aura on the next few episodes of Raw. That may involve squashing multiple mid-carders or cutting more cold-blooded promos to re-establish his dominance. Gunther needs to be feared again, one insider remarked. He can't just be a guy who stares across the ring and waits for a pipe bomb. That's not him. There's also talk that Punk's physical condition might have played a role in the odd pacing of the segment. He's still said to be nursing lingering injuries from his match with Drew McIntyre and was not cleared for in-ring action during Raw. That could explain why the segment was dialogue-heavy and lacked physicality, which might have otherwise ignited the crowd and cemented the confrontation as a pivotal moment. The fallout from the segment is now the talk of the locker room, with several talents reportedly expressing concern over big matches being teased without clear follow-through. One wrestler noted, "We've seen it too many times. A big moment happens, but then the next week there's no mention of it. That hurts everyone." Helms also warned of the long-term implications if WWE continues down this creative path. You can't keep Punk jumping from feud to feud without consequence. The guy is too smart, too layered for that. If you don't give him structure, his character just floats. And Gunther? You better be careful. You only get to be that unstoppable force once. Don't waste it on a tease. As SummerSlam approaches, all eyes will be on WWE to see if they revisit the Punk-Gunther confrontation or quietly move on. For now, fans are left wondering whether this was the start of something monumental or just another missed opportunity in the increasingly unpredictable world of WWE storytelling. The passion behind both stars remains undeniable. But as Helms and others have pointed out, passion without direction can quickly turn to confusion. One thing is clear, WWE lit a fuse with Punk and Gunther's encounter. Whether it leads to an explosive showdown or fizzles out will depend on how the company responds to the backlash, and whether they can turn criticism into storytelling gold. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our WWE official YouTube channel for more update news.